blah, 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 blah. There's a reason. Valuable bonus points by slamming the thumbs up early. That's right. You got to get them points. Marvo, I'm about to stuff my face with food. I'm going to do the same, but well, food. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Late. But remembered right away again to change the chat thing to the live chat. I was a couple minutes late because I decided at the last minute, I was doing some hand planing. I decided I got a couple minutes till the show. I'm going to make that drawer fit. Should only take a couple minutes to make that drawer fit with a hand plane. It took a couple more minutes, then a couple more minutes. Like 3. Settle down. Oh, I'm rocking the Fresca tonight. Fresca is a good drink. Sugar-free, caffeine-free, fizzy pineapple, or not pineapple, grapefruit pop. Yay. Ooh, there's an ad at the top of the chat window. What's it for? Is it an ad for something good? They still make Fresca. Yes, Tim, they still make Fresca. I don't know if I've ever had a Fresca before this last week. I went looking to top up the, what is it, pink lemonade grapefruit or the pink lemonade ginger ale. Can't find it. It was all out. So I was like, maybe this is not gross. I don't know if I've ever had a Fresca. But sugar-free, caffeine-free, I think. So pineapple-y, I keep saying pineapple. Grapefruit pop, it's good. Stainless steel something. Oh, stainless steel. That means it's good. What up, Steve? Refresh worked. Hey. But now you don't know about the stainless steel Who's-its that they wanted you to buy. Maybe it was good. Maybe you want one of those. You didn't even check. I'm gonna have food. Because nothing says that you need something in your belly and you don't really care what it is, like Little Caesars pizza. Little Caesars, for when you want something that is kind of like food that doesn't taste gross and you're in a hurry and it doesn't really matter. Little Caesars. I don't understand why people don't want me to advertise for their products. Like, some people should pay me to advertise. They'll get Little Caesars for when mediocre isn't, when you want something just below mediocre and for it to taste like pizza. Do not click ads on the internet. Oh, okay. I try not to. Unless it's for something that I actually might want. Yeah. I got my retail therapy done yesterday. Bought a 6-stop ND filter for my upcoming waterfalls trip. Look at you with your fancy pants filter. Their main spokesperson just says pizza, pizza. Well, because he doesn't want to. They can't be dishonest, so they just say like pizza. And is it? I mean, it is technically. It's got a layer of a bread type product, then some sauce, and then some cheese. So technically, they're not lying to you. And when you don't want to spend very much and you don't really care if it's good, it's already sitting there whenever you show up, and it's okay. Warm it up on a cast iron pan. Yeah, if I'm gonna actually put work into it, I'm gonna get a better pizza or make something myself. Here's an idea: buy the cheap, almost garbage pizza, and then put a bunch of work into making it better. No. Java Junkie. What's up, my friend? Oh, yeah, it tastes kind of like pizza, and it'll fill my belly. It's food. What are you having, Marv? Java Junkie must have made 5,000 pizzas back when. I have done my fair share of pizza making. I never had a job as a cook in the pizza joint, but I've made my fair share of pizzas because there wasn't enough people back there making pizza. I did a pretty good stint as a server bartender guy at Boston Pizza. My first ever serving job was at Pizza Hut as like teenager guy. I have worked at not pizza places that served pizza, and I've made pizzas there. I have made a lot of pizzas, and I'm not really all that picky about pizza either. Like I can crush a mediocre pizza and be like, "Yep, that was okay." Udon noodles with egg and veggies. Udon. Look at you, fancy udon noodles. Mm 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 mm. What is going on this week, my friends? I am officially on vacation. I got off work, and technically I don't work again for another 11 days or something. So I'm gotta do some work, but I'm not doing work I get paid for. It sucks because when you take a vacation and you gotta do work, but it's not paid work, or like I'm not doing work for my job. Well, I probably will end up doing some work for my job, um, but I still got a bunch of work I got to do around the house and in here in the shop, and you know, it's like vacation for when you don't want to get paid for the work you do. It's like this has been an ad for vacation. When you don't want to get paid for the work you gotta do. My first batch of days off from my job since Christmas of year before last. So but I'd only work. I don't know why I air quoted work. my scheduled shifts are only 3 days a week. So, but then I teach another couple of days a week, usually, at least one. And I have no like paid work to do. It sucks to have to say it like that. For like 11 days or something. Next Thursday after this one coming up. Vacation. Yeah, I'm taking a vacation from getting paid for a week. We'll see. It's going to be weird on Thursday when I don't go to work. That's going to be like, I guess that's technically first day of vacation is when you're supposed to be at work. Well, you would normally be at work, but you're not, and you're allowed to not. Now, what's going on with you guys this week? Java Junkie just ordered a bacon pie 2 hours ago. First of all, bacon pie sounds delicious. I don't know what that is, but I want it. And why is it taking 2 hours to get a bacon pie? That's a two-part question. What's a bacon pie? Because I want it. And why is it taking more than 2 hours to get it? I really hope it's just a pie full of bacon. Like, I very much hope that it's like apple pie except bacon instead of apples. Like 4 pounds of bacon in a pie shell. That's what I want it to be. Some cheese on top. Like a deep dish pizza, except it's all bacon and cheese. Is it a breakfast bacon or ham type bacon or prosciutto? Well, I don't know. I can't answer that. I just want it to be whatever. You can put all the kinds of bacon in the pie. All the cured and salted meats that have been fried and then thrown in a pie shell. Probably pizza with bacon. Well, then stop calling it a pie. It's not a pie if it's a pizza. I don't understand people that call pizzas pies. They're not. Pizza is not a pie. I think Mike would love a breakfast pizza. I would not call it a pizza though. For me, a pizza goes bread, tomato sauce of some kind, and then toppings. So like breakfast pizza, I don't want to have tomato sauce on a, like even when I get a pizza that is like an Alfredo base sauce, like I don't even want to call that a pizza. In my head, I want it to taste like pizza, if it's called a pizza. Here's your chicken bacon ranch. But is it chicken bacon ranch usually is like a cream sauce base as opposed to a tomato base, right? It's like an Alfredo style base on a chicken bacon ranch. Bacon pie equals bacon pizza. No, it does not. A bacon pie, if you say, would you like a piece of bacon pie, and you give me a pizza that has bacon on it, I'm going to say, where's my bacon pie? Pizza high when the moon hits the sky. Like, yeah, you know what? The moon can hit whatever you want. It's not a pie. pizza terms can be fuzzy, and everybody's got their own opinions. Like everybody's got an asshole and an opinion. When I hear the term pizza, I want it to be a certain thing. When I hear the term pie, I want it to be a certain thing. And then those two things are not the same. It's like, I don't know. Depends where you get it. Might be tomato sauce or cream sauce, depending. I know, I'd like a bacon chicken ranch or whatever. I just feel like chicken bacon ranch type, it should be almost like ranch dressing as the base or something. I don't know, like a cream base for sure, though. For me. Bacon pie makes me think of a pot pie. That's why it's just a big fucking bowl of bacon. Maybe the crust is on top. Maybe it is like a pot, like a chicken pot pie with the like biscuit style crust on the top, except it's just bacon underneath, bacon and cheese, and then a crust of like biscuit style crust on the top, and you dig it out with a big spoon and you ladle that shit into a bowl. That'd be good. Definitely have both an arsenal and an opinion. But Arsenal's my soccer team. Remember, I picked that one that time when somebody asked me what my favorite soccer team was. I don't think those dumb ovals you put in a board instead of dowels should be called biscuits. Well, I don't think that most of what the Americans call gravy should be called gravy either, but you call it whatever you want. You want to call a pizza a pie, you live your life. But be clear in your communication with others. If you invite somebody over for bacon pie, make sure they know that you're just talking about pizza with bacon on it, because you don't want to disappoint your guests who are coming expecting a bacon pie. I'll leave. Grilled cheese with tomato soup. You can have it. You can have mine. I'll take my grilled cheese and I'll go eat it on the stoop. I'll be in the yard eating my grilled cheese while you guys eat your soup. Fucking warm, thick tomato sauce juice. Just like thicken up some tomato juice and heat it up. Call it soup. How about grilled cheese with tomato and bacon? I don't want tomatoes on my grilled cheese sandwich. I don't want tomatoes on my anything. If the only time I want tomato is if it is made into a sauce. Tomato, it's like slimy, and the texture of it, like it's like a thick snot. Like it's not. No. You keep your tomatoes. You can have mine. It's fine. I don't like tomato on my grilled cheese. That's what the tomato soup is for. It's for the tomato. If you want to consume tomato, if you just need to consume some tomato, I mean, do it however you want. Like I don't want tomato soup. If you ask me over to your house for dinner and you're having grilled cheese and tomato soup, I will have extra grilled cheeses. You you guys can eat all the soup yourself. Or drink the soup? I don't even know. You're not even eating tomato soup. You're drinking it with a spoon. It, Kaplaz here. I never kept count of how many pizzas I've made. Made them professionally for 15 years and still. Yeah, okay. Well, do you call them pies though? Like if would you say, hey, do you want to come over and have a pie? And then when people show up, you got pizza for them? That's false advertising. Oh, okay. What are you saying? You're just saying letters now. Ja. If you put homemade egg noodles in the soup, you have to chew. Then it's not tomato soup anymore. Then it's tomato noodle soup. It's not tomato soup. Tomato noodle soup. Not everyone everywhere uses the same words for things. It's true. And I'm just telling you how I use words and how I would appreciate it if other people would, but I'm not, you can use whatever words you want. You can say that you eat tomato soup. If you put noodles in tomato soup, do you still call it tomato soup? Or do you call it tomato noodle soup? It's not tomato. I don't think it's tomato soup anymore if it's got noodles in it. Ja equals ha. Does it? Pizza pie. We're gonna fight. I guess am I feisty? Maybe I'm feisty tonight. I don't care. You guys, you eat your tomato soup. You sit there and you drink your soup with a spoon, and you chew on cilantro and you whatever you want to have. I mean, I shouldn't talk. I'm eating fucking Little Caesars. Not regular noodles. They're like lumpy, chewy dumplings. Lumpy, chewy dumpling? This is like an album name. Lumpy, chewy dumpling. I like that as an album name. We're feisty because you were unusually calm about tomato soup. I'm trying to accept. I'm trying to like have positivity, and I'm trying to reject negativity and accept others for their differences, which I'm pretty good at. Just don't try to feed me tomato soup. You can have tomato soup. I don't want it. I don't want it. You sit down, you can eat, you can drink your soup with a spoon, and you can have a Pepsi with it, and while you're finishing something with a Verathane product. You go ahead and do that. Okay? Go ahead and laugh. We know you want to. I would love to laugh. I don't laugh often enough. Sometimes the most laughs I usually get in a week are on Saturday nights here on this show. So just be funnier. And I will laugh. See, and it's almost always my own joke. See, I may label pie as in pizza pie. If it has the qualifier that it is a pizza pie, I will assume that it is a pizza. Meat pie, but see, the whole discussion started. Somebody was saying they were going to have a bacon pie. And I was like, ooh, what's a bacon pie? If I just say pie, I mean fruit dessert in a pie crust. Yes, I don't necessarily need it to be fruit, but it's most often a fruit. But you could have a chocolate pie, which would be like a chocolate mousse in a pie crust type situation. Um, I mean, I guess you could have pecan pie, which is not a fruit. And you can keep that too. I don't want that. You can have that. You can have that after you finish drinking your soup with your spoon. My sis is selling her house in Kamloops. Oh, here we go. Where's she going? Anyway, doesn't matter. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, new hot tub, nice landscaping, piece of pie-shaped property at the end of a cul-de-sac. Is it pizza-shaped also? Not listed yet. It's $750 to $800. Yep, that's. Fuck Pepsi. I agree. That's why I said it. You can drink your Pepsi after you finish drinking your soup with a spoon. Is that Canadian? That's Canadian dollars. So in the American dollars, it's what? $700,000? Sweet dessert in a pie crust. I would agree, unless it has a qualifier like meat or chicken. I get chicken is a meat. Yeah, the word pie to me means it is in a crust, it is round, and it is sweet. I think is probably accurate. But I don't want your pecan pie either. You can keep that. Who decided, like, you know what would be a great pie? Just a bunch of fucking nuts. Just throw a bunch of nuts in there. Like, having said that, if I like pecans more, I do like cashews. A cashew pie might be pretty good. I might enjoy a cashew pie. Probably not. I just want my cashews just like in a bowl, just eating them. Pecan pie is awesome. Well, we can disagree. It's fine. Paul is late because he's been turning bowls all day. The little minis. Probably. It's given the best pecan pie recipe in the world. You don't know that. You have never had all of the pecan pies. The only one worth eating. Again, you don't know. From a famous diner at the world's largest flea market in the world in East Texas. It was Tim's ex-girlfriend was making that pie, I think. Hey, Dan. My brother makes peanut butter pie. It sounds weird, but it might be good. Pecan is better than cashew. I will, you know what? I'll ban you. I'm kidding. You can think that. You can think that. Everybody is allowed to be wrong. It's the little minis. Stopped for a bit because one flew off the lathe, hit my F clamps, and one dropped. Bowl came off, hit it's like some kind of Charlie Chaplin movie thing where it like comes flying off and it hits the thing and then it drops on your head and then you do like this. And the baker has been dead since 1993. All right, you send me a no. I don't want your I'm sure it's fantastic. was going to say I will try it myself, but I don't know if they like go through the mail across North America would still be that good. You guys are making me hungry. Oh, well, if you're hungry and you want almost mediocre pizza, you just pop over to Little Caesars and just get whatever they have in the warmer. See, I'm still wondering why people don't want to pay me to advertise their products. They could get ads like Little Caesars for when you don't care and what it tastes like, but you want it cheap and ready, and you're just hungry and you don't give a shit. F clamps codes for not. No, the actual clamps shaped like an F. Mikey B's here. Saw the Grateful Dead in 1995. That's a great story. Ann Arbor, Michigan. I saw the Grateful Dead in 1995. That's a thing, you said. Big football stadium in Ann Arbor. Electrons here. Have you tried staining any curly maple? I don't know. If I don't do a lot of staining. Probably not. Planning on making an electric guitar, and I've seen videos, but don't know if there's any particular things I need to look out for with curly wood. Well, yes. The same things that you would look out for with the application of any liquid. It is going to absorb more readily in places where the grain is presenting at the surface in an end grain formation. So when you're talking about curly wood, the reason that it's curly is because the grain is going like this. And so where it presents to the surface, it's going to more readily absorb stains and dyes and finishes and things. And it's going to be darker in those areas, which is what you want if you're looking to accentuate that grain pattern. Don't sand too highly. Don't sand too much before you apply your colorant. My friend Paul Waldrop, sanded to too high a grit before he applied his dye on a guitar top. I told him to go back and stop at 150 or so before he put his dye in there. It'll penetrate deeper. It'll absorb better. And then you can sand it back. It'll still live in those soaked up end grain parts. And then you can recoat and re-dye and finish on top, and it'll be sort of have a multi-layer kind of sitch. But yeah, you just picture the curl of the grain is the end grain of the wood presenting itself to the surface, and that's going to want to absorb liquid more readily and deeper. So that's your consideration. Why is all the print backwards on that box? It's not. You're going crazy. You might want to get checked out. Remember those Kmart commercials they made shortly before closing? Nope. I shipped my pants. That's a good slogan. I like that. I shipped my pants is a good slogan. Don't sand past 180. Yep. He did learn that here from this guy. He came here and learned. It was by accident, but it's the sort of tip I was looking for. Plan on lightly sanding after a black coat, then putting orange and brown backwards so the tiger stripe less. Right. So you want to start with whatever color you want the figuring of the maple to be. So if that's black, you start with your black, you sand it back, so now the black is just mainly living in those end grain areas, the figuring areas, and then you stain your burst or whatever on top of that, and then the black just comes through because it's now soaked into the end grain parts. Love the big gas truck one also. I don't know these ads. Oop, be nice. You're Canadian. When was I not nice? I was nice. I've been nice the whole time. You want to fight? I was being nice. YouTube. Yeah, about what, 6 months ago? I don't even know anymore. It's been a while. But at a random point, YouTube did an update and it stopped. It stopped flipping the video to the way that it's supposed to fucking be. And now it's like, that's just the way that it is. I'm also planning on dyeing a curly maple fretboard the same color as well. Really looking forward to that. Yeah, sweet. That might be really busy. I'm sure it'll be lovely. I think if I was going with like a curly maple, like a flamey curly maple top on something, on a guitar, I would want the fretboard to be a more sort of clear, to not be pulling the focus. I wouldn't, that feels like it's going to be very busy aesthetically, but it could be nice. There's no U in Kapla. There is if we put it there. It's hard for people who use English most of the time to not put a U after a Q. I get it. Doing great, Mike. I enjoy your content. Thanks, man. Or whoa, man, I suppose. I don't actually know. A. Patterson, as opposed to the other Patterson. That is A. Patterson. There's another one over there. If there were multiple Pattersons, that would be a Patterson. That would be another Patterson. I have a CNC machine. It would be using some inlays to break up the maple. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be cool. Flamey figured maple everywhere. Bring it on. I feel like it'll be a little busy. I would want to break it up so that there's like a nice clear. Personally, I'm picturing just like flamey figured maple, and then probably flamey figured maple on the headstock. I just feel like that's a little bit too much. But maybe it'll be awesome. What would be cool, would it, is if you did like your dye sandback burst on the body, and then maybe just like black dyed figured maple so that you can only see the ripples like in the light on the fretboard, so that it's still figured and it still has that chatoyance to it, but it's not so busy looking. I don't know. You do you. Would look better if you did the top and headstock and leave the neck bare wood. I think Paul and I have similar. Better is a relative, it's a subjective term though. Maybe he'll love it. I came, I saw red, hit the thumbs up button. Now I have to go. Okay, bye. We'll see you again sometime. We'll be here every Saturday, except for on the. Oh, maybe I can, actually. I was going to say, except for the 30th, but I think I probably still can. Just thought maybe reversing some yellow and browns in different order on the fretboard. I think you're overcomplicating. I think you're trying to achieve too much, and it's going to overcomplicate itself aesthetically. I think make the elements pop that you want to pop, and then subdue the ones that you don't, so that, because next to, if it's all super busy and bright and bursty and colorful and stuff, it can overwhelm how cool it is, because there's nothing to compare it against. You know what I mean? Like a simple rosewood fretboard will pull the focus down to the flamey, bursty part, and it'll make it set. It'll set it off even more as being super cool. Did you say toyance? I said chatoyance. Speaking of chatoyance, spelled incorrectly, when you're going to turn the moose poop pen? I guess it's spelled correctly for that purpose. I'm going to turn it when I feel like it, yo. First, Mikey B's got to come replace the bearings on my lathe. Or I could do it at the shop, but thinking of using walnut for the instrument panel in my truck. Any advice on what I should seal it with? You have two options. In general, you can do the easily repairable and high maintenance finish, or you can do the as durable as you can get, but when it needs repairing, it's super difficult. So you could do oil wax, buff it, and then just keep adding more and buffing it in when it gets dull type finishes, like the custom liquid wax, maybe covered with a top coat of the custom hard wax. And then every now and then you just rebuff some more in and just keep it up. It's an upkeep type finish. Or you can do like a spar urethane. It's going to be really hard for this to get damaged, but when it does, I got to strip this whole damn thing and get it all off of there and refinish it from scratch. Tits McGee from Montucky says, hello, y'all. You don't live, there's no such place as Montucky. Okay? You live in Montana. Gets its own. It goes across the top, it goes Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wisconsin. Oh, north. It goes the Dakotas. And then Wisconsin. Montana gets its own. I might miss the 30th. August is a big birthday month in my house. Mine too, except, well, it's just me. But started with my husband last week, ends with my son at the end. We don't discuss the middle folks. Is it you? My birthday is a week from today. Tomorrow. Week from tomorrow. So next Saturday, I'm going to do a giveaway. Every year, my birthday show, I do some kind of giveaway. I don't know what it'll be yet, but I give out a gift on my birthday every year. Figure out what that is. If you're doing it for yourself, take the time, make whatever you want. Yeah. It's you do you, and then if you decide like maybe I shouldn't have, then make the next one different. Like who cares? You make a dozen guitars. Doesn't matter. Eat your fucking tomato soup if you want while you're making your guitars. Multiple fretboards I can test with. Yeah, dude, test one's good. And then hold it up. Yeah. Jonathan J. Use walrus oil. It provides the best seal. Best is hard to say. Like I said, you can do the maintenance and repairable, or you can do the I don't want to maintain and repair. But when I do, it's a huge pain in the ass. Turn it out to the left, take it back. Now, are you trying to get me demonetized? I don't know what you're doing there, but happy birthday a week from tomorrow. Yay! Next week we'll do birthday show. I'll have to look that up. The wax idea seems good, seeing as I will probably wax the paint anyway. Similar process, just different product. Yeah, something that absorbs and then has a nice light sheen on the surface that you can buff and then repair easily by just buffing some more in, I think it won't get the like sort of high glossiness generally that some people want. Planning on running a side business making guitars until I can quit my day job. That sounds like a great plan for somebody who never wants to quit their day job. I wish you all the success. That was mean of me to say. I apologize. It was a little bit funny, but I mean, yeah, that'd be great. Make guitars on the side, make enough to quit your day job, and then just make guitars. Ask Paul Waldrop how that's going. How long you been making guitars on the side and still haven't quit your job, Paul? Walrus seal. I didn't see it. It went past. Keel's here. Look out. Again, you might be picking on me for my spelling. I pick on everybody for their spelling, my friend. It's not just you. Peckerwood's here. Look out. Just an FYI, I do that currently for all. Yeah, see, 13 years of making guitars on the side. So far. I like my job, but I would like doing that a lot more. You say that, but you like doing it a lot more until you have to do it so that you can keep living inside and eating food. It changes the dynamic. I don't think I would ever want to make something I'm passionate, and that's not true. Taking a hobby I love that I have fun doing and making my life rely on that generating enough income for me to survive, I don't think it's for me. In terms of like, I still want to keep loving it and be able to do it when I feel like it and not have to worry about whether or not somebody paid me on time so I can pay my phone bill so that my internet doesn't get cut off or whatever. Like I don't know. Took your box in to ship today and it got rejected. Like, we're not sending this. They pack the Cokes better. Were they like, could you hear it? Were they like, bloop, bloop, bloop? Like, they gave it a little shimmy and it was like, bloop, 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 bloop. Like, yeah, probably. I told you that might be a problem. I've heard that same mentality from my friends that play music for a living. I personally, for me, I like having a lot of different things that I love all be part of my income stream. I like a diverse portfolio of things that bring in money so that I don't have to exclusively rely on any of them. So that if I'm not getting commissions for woodworking and the YouTube numbers are down, or like all of the things being smaller percentages of my total revenue, I think is for me the way to go, because like I said, it's all variable, right? Like if I don't get a custom order for a piece of furniture, well, that's okay because I've got this over here. And then if I do get a piece of furniture, custom whatever, then I don't have to worry so much about AdSense revenue. And if the AdSense revenue drops, then I can go play guitar in front of the liquor store for money, and like I could take a contract job doing freelance writing, or it all just kind of like balances out and at a level that is sustainable. Bubble wrapped. Need to seal them in something, then bubble wrap them. Aren't they already sealed inside? Like, aren't they in a bottle? Like, they're sealed in something. It's okay. It wasn't going to get here by my birthday anyway, Paul. Probably won't be here long. Not been a good week for it. Spent 8 hours in ER for chest and back pain and still don't know what's wrong with you. It is sarcoidosis, probably. I feel like that's one of the things that House would check. He was like, maybe sarcoidosis. Do a check on the panel for the do a blood panel for CFib or something like, yeah. I hope all the best for you. I'm also getting my drone license so I can film and take photos as well. Sure, you do make all your hobbies into something that makes you a couple of bucks. Then you don't have to worry about how many bucks they are, because they're all just a little bit. And then I turned my contempt for working into a full-time. To be fair, journalism beat you down, my friend. And there's no shame in that. It beats a lot of people down. Yeah, best of luck for all of everybody, wishing you all the best. Hopefully you don't live in the States or it doesn't cost you a shit ton of money to not know what is wrong with you medically. YouTube, woodworking, landscaping, singing, and so on. Multiple irons in because then there's always an iron. That's right. I'm going to get paid a little bit for doing this. I'm going to get paid a little bit for doing that. And then I'm going to get paid a little bit for doing that. And then, all together, it's enough money. Hopefully. I'm out, guys. All right. Later, man. It's just about cigarette time. I haven't thought of that show in a long time. I watch that show all the time. That's one of the shows that, like, if I just need noise in the background, I just like have that running sometimes. It's a good show. It's one of the few shows that I've ever watched start to finish where, yes, there were weaker episodes and stronger episodes, but it didn't like, as a series, it was strong start to finish. Like, it didn't, like, I don't feel like House was like, oh, well, after season 5 it just, like, it was good all the way along. It had, like I said, it had some weaker episodes and some stronger episodes, but all together, overall, it was a consistent quality show. Not looking forward to the Bills. Ah, God. I don't want to do angry rant. I don't. I'm trying to be positive and pleasant. I already went off about tomato soup already today. Okay, so, like, his pizza is like, you barely call that pizza. That's not good. I'll eat it, but it's like, I'm gonna have a smoke. I would rather have a cigarette will taste better right now than that pizza. And cigarettes are gross. Totally agree. House was a great show, start to finish. In general, I'm self-employed, so it'll be totally out of pocket. Well, congratulations on your bankruptcy. Nah, don't. Bare minimum, you need to heat that pizza up. It's not gonna be any better though. Like, I might as well just shovel it down and have done with it. Blowtorch. I don't have one. I used to have like a little flambe torch in my shop, like a little 2-pronger, like creme brulee kind of torch out here. I don't know where it is. In Australia, medical. Yep, same here. Everywhere in the world that cares about its people, even a little bit. But I'm not gonna. I didn't take it, and I don't have your hand. You do, well, you don't have my hammer because you hid it. You buried it in the yard or whatever. Now we know what you need for your birthday gift. Everybody send me a blowtorch for my birthday. Like, yeah, just different kinds of propane torches would be great. I just need one. I don't need a bunch. Creme brulee, now I want some, right? Because it's delicious. Awfully defensive. See, I told you. I already knew that he did something with my hammer. The fact that he keeps bringing up that he didn't doesn't help his cause. Sean McGill's here. Hey, everybody. I'm going to tell him. Sean, can I tell him? Can I tell him? I'm an influencer. If it wasn't working or a freeloader, I can get a lot of help. If I wasn't, what? Just learned that flamethrowers are illegal in the state of Maryland. I think flamethrowers as a weapon should probably be illegal everywhere. Influencer. I influenced. You spent money because of my influence. The company didn't make any money though, so the company had already made all of the money they were going to from the sale of that product, and you did not provide them any additional revenue. I'd say you advised. I did advise, but I don't think it would have been in the consideration category. I don't think you would have been considering said tool had it not been in a shop of someone who you trust to give you to have. Anyway, Sean bought a 4512 rigid table saw. There, I said I was gonna. True, it was one of the models we did discuss. It's true. Love the mobile base, but the pedal, yeah, it's good. Just don't tell anyone you have a flamethrower. We need a flamethrower. You don't need a flamethrower. I seen you in Mike Makes Stuff. What? Oh, this is a side conversation. Like, so the reason that I was 3 minutes late, that everybody decided they needed to point out, because I was hand planing. Making shavings, fitting the drawer, fitting the first of the drawers in the wall cabinet. So the wall cabinet now has a door, still needs a little magnet catch for it, but it's hung and hinged and hung. And then that drawer I was just fitting before the show. I was like, it'd just take me a couple minutes to just fit this drawer. So that guy goes in there. I got two more. So it's getting closer. This is not really, this isn't a fancy. This is just, oh, it still maybe needs another couple of passes. I just did miters. I just mitered, but I made a little mitered tray basically for that drawer. These guys will get like their full dovetail treatment and stuff, but have to move it out of the way in the garage for the motorcycles, so being able to move it around. Yeah, and it glides pretty easy when it's up on its wheels too, doesn't it? Like it's pretty mobile. It was the guy that was in here last weekend. There's lots of people here last weekend. Mike makes stuff. Oh, right. That's right. We made a new friend last week. Does it turn out that he's weird? I thought that was bigger. It's not. No, it's not enormous. It's like 20 by 16. Ish. That's what she said? I thought that was bigger. No. Oh, let's see. Let's see who's winning. I forgot. Here we go. Marvo! Marv's winning. Look at that. Good work, Marv. Oh. How about that video today? Eh? With the talky talk. Have fun, y'all. I gotta call my mother. Relinquish my coveted place at number 1. You can't just give it to somebody. You don't get to decide who gets it. They have to earn. They have to earn the number 1 spot. He has multiple people come on live with some app thingy. There's 5 people on the screen. Yeah, that's too many. I've seen a few people do that where it's like there's like a lot of windows of people just talking, and it like, yeah, it gets. I can't. That talkie vid got a lot of engagement. It did. Every time I do one of those, like, yeah, not drinking. And it's it's my best performing vid with no surprise. With the smashed up face again, with no surprise that it's doing well. Or pay. You can, or you can pay to get the top spot in the points. John McGill, a couple weeks ago, found out how to secure top spot in the chat. Crown thing, points, XP, whatever. Hit the thumbs. Marv has reminded us that we need to all hit the thumb button. I've been in a lot of those multi-screen chats. I don't mind them. You just have to be aware of other folks. Yes. And everyone has to be, that tends to be the problem. The more people you get involved, the more likely somebody is not going to be aware that of like proper discussion etiquette type things. Or you need someone who is adept at moderating that type of environment to be like running the show. And that's a skill all on its own. You just get everybody trying to talk and it just becomes a mess. And your video today was beautiful. Well, it was all my face was why it was. The reason we're here is for the good company with solid people here in Mike's Garage. Except maybe with an apostrophe next time would be good. I can't even see. He said a nice thing. He did compliments. It's a positive, nice, complimentary thing that he says, and then I go and I fuck it up by pointing out that he didn't have an apostrophe. Like what? What? Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Next week's my birthday. And then the week after is the 16th and the 23rd. And then 2 weeks after my birthday, I got suckered into organizing an arts festival. So that is going to take a little bit of work. And then, so that's on Saturday the 30th. But it should theoretically be wrapped up in time for me to do the show that week. We'll see. Two weeks after your birthday is mine. Yay! But you're in Australia, so is it actually 2 weeks later? Or is it like 13 days later? Or is it like... Are you the 31? I need a new Fresca drink. Somebody want to look up if Fresca has caffeine? Because I like the sugar. It's like my favorite of the, it's better. It tastes better than Coke Zero. And if it's, I could shift to this like pretty easily, I think. It doesn't say anywhere on it that it's got caffeine, but it also doesn't say caffeine free. Dragon's Horde Crafts. What's up, my friend? How are you doing? I like it when it's two people and they bring a guy on for 2 minutes for a question or show it. Yeah. I just, as soon as you get more than 2, 3 at the most people involved in a chat sitch, you either have to have it formatted in a way that it's like your turn, your turn, your turn, your turn, your turn, or the conversation has to be moderated by one of those people, or hopefully they are all respectful of each other wanting to communicate. Stand corrected. 18 days. Why are you lying? Why? Minnesota Woodworkers Guild videos do this. Jumping from one shop to another in one video. Like in an awkward, uncomfortable way, because that would suck. Well, just sat down to eat and saw you then. Yeah, sweet. I hope you're eating better than I was, because I got a Little Caesars pizza and it's It's exactly what it is every time. It's just like sustenance type food that fills the hole in your stomach, but not the hole in your soul. You know, like it doesn't. Doesn't fill anything emotionally or like it's in fact it kind of sucks out some of your joy when you're eating it. Like, you know how some food, like while you're eating it, it adds joy to your life? Little Caesars, it does the opposite of that. It's like it takes some of it from you. When James Wright does lives, his wife moderates the chat and they use super chat for priority questions. I also use super chat for priority questions, by the way. You guys, just so you know. If you want priority questions, feel free. And zero chance that I'm even gonna ask wife to, like, hey, can you be involved? Yeah. Great people, I'm mediocre at best. Like, where? What? Where? What? Mediocre at what? The Minnesota Woodworkers Guild? He had to take shoes off to get the number right. What are we talking about? Who took shoes off doing what? You just putting an apostrophe after my name now? Just, you're eating the wrong pizza. Well, obviously, but it was the one that was going to be ready when I showed up, and it was cheap because I'm poor. And not poor. I'm not poor. It shouldn't say that. But I don't have. I'm in that. I'm in that weird zone that's like a few days before payday zone, where like the fucking bills have been paid and stuff, but like you haven't gotten paid yet to get things back in the. It's like that sort of like hanging on for dear life, but you know that it's going to be okay in a couple days kind of sitches, you know? I'm not claiming to be poor. I am in a very fortunate, I'm in a somewhat fortunate financial position. I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat. I have a vehicle to get from point A to point B. I get to do this and make things out of wood, and I get to make art, and I do like, oh no, I have to plan an arts festival, like this, the type of, like, oh damn, Peckerwood getting the days right. Shoes off. He had to take his shoes off. Oh, because he needed to count. See? You own a house. I own a house in the way that you own a house, Sean. I own more of my house than you own of your house, but I own my house in the same way that you own your house. It's like, yeah, I'm not paying somebody else's mortgage. I'm paying my own. And I can afford it. Almost. Like I said, I'm in a somewhat fortunate financial position. We jointly own it with the bank, but still, it's more than a lot of people. I know. That's why when I said I'm poor, I immediately I immediately resented myself for saying that and rejected that statement because it's not true. I did, however, I did cash out my Patreon, my little like sort of bank account that I kept over at Patreon. I did cash it out. And I'm probably not going to get to use it for what I had hoped to be able to use it for. But I will devote some of it. Some of it is going to have to go to just regular life expenses, which sucks because it is the goal of it is to the people who pay me money there are doing so in support of my shop and my channel and the value that I provide for them. And I hate that I'm going to have to take some of that and probably make a truck payment, but I will buy a tool with some of it too. I don't know what one yet, or some walnut or something. I'm still a little bit upset at how little walnut I have. That's my walnut rack. There's only there's less than 100 board feet there of walnut. That is disgraceful. This is yeah. There's probably less than 80 board feet of walnut there. Is that what those are for? Oh, your toes? Yeah, they're to help you count until your birthday, I guess. I look at Patreon as supporting you, Mike. You do as you will. Well, I know, but the point of it is, I don't know. I guess, technically, you guys give me money and I can do what I want with it. Yes, okay, fair. But I would like to have that money go back into the system that you guys are chipping in towards. So I'm going to do my best to use at least most ? Of it to do that. I haven't started collecting wood, but I want to go check out Windsor Plywood soon. No, you don't. You want to go to Reimer. Windsor Plywood is fine. It's okay. But if I was down there, I would be going to Reimer. It's a local place that specializes in walnut slabs. They sell pallets of cutoffs for $2 a pound. By the pound? That's weird. Advertised at 18 to 36 inch long. I take the plunge for 250 pound pallet. I don't know. That would be too much math for me. $2 a pound. It's a weird way to sell wood. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody selling wood by weight like that. What if it's not properly dried? If it's not properly dried, then it's going to weigh heavier and it's going to be not usable yet. You're going to pay more for wood that isn't ready to be used. I don't know. I don't like that. All right. Later, Keel. Stay healthy, my friend. Hope that gets all figured out. I got my burl cutoffs by the pound. Okay, maybe little chunks like that. But like walnut slabs, have you ever heard? Has anybody else here ever heard of slabs of walnut being sold by the pound? Or like actual processed boards of any kind being sold by weight? It feels to me like it would be way too easy for you to pad that, or like I said, sell improperly dried material, or I mean, hell, you just like leave it sitting upright in a puddle and it'll soak up through the end grain and add a couple of pounds. I don't know. Never heard of slabs by the pound. Yeah, me neither. The local butcher does. Yeah, you just like inject it with a bunch of water and then it's heavier. Just the cutoffs they sell by weight. Oh, right. But it's like cutoffs that are still like 18 to 36 inch long. Like, I don't know. I mean, I would personally I would want to definitely see the 250 pounds of wood that I'm purchasing for $500. And then I would at least get a mental volumetric measurement in my head to know whether or not I was getting a good deal. Like, I want to show me the $500 thing of wood. I'm gonna measure it and get an approximate like cubic footage of wood and be like, okay, I would have to do the math to be like, okay, that's $4 a board foot. That's worth it for me or whatever. I would never be like, yeah, I'll sell me X pounds of wood sight unseen for X number of dollars. But if you could go there and look at the pallet and say, okay, that's about, 150 board feet for $500. Sure. Okay. Maybe. Rockler and Woodcraft have gaylords full of cutoffs sold by the pound. Yeah, I'm sure if that's how they do it, no, not for me. So when you go around the back of the warehouse at night, they got a sprinkler. That's right. The sprinklers are running. They're like the tarps accidentally come off when the storm rolls in, like. You get a sprinkler on the hose. It's just the tap is turned wide open and then like, oh, we're just keeping the dust down or whatever. Yeah. I have another cigarette, I think. Oh, finish those drawers in the next couple of days. And speaking of guitars, that's next up after the cabinet. The sister guitars getting finished up next. That's too bright. Not quite. Not quite time for that to be fully open yet. Sold some oak that I salted for $5 a pound. You salt? What does salting oak do? Also, hello, Bill. How are you? Bill from Opossum Creek, Tennessee. Tennessee? Makes it taste better. Well, obviously. Spalted, $5 a pound. I can't visualize a pound of maple or walnut or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to have to do the math. I want to know how much volume of wood it is, not how much it weighs. I use ChatGPT. I'm trying to confuse it so it can't nail down a profile for me. There you go. You're doing a good job. A box, large container, typically to put things inside. This is a good box. It's what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to put things inside of them. Paul's back. Speaking of making guitars, Paul Waldrop's here again. Where the moon still comes over the mountain in gallon jugs and plays the banjo on its way down. Or does it play the wash tub? What does the moon play on its way down the mountains? I feel like maybe it plays the wash tub with a broomstick and a string. Boom, 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 boom. Description from the red. About $6 a board foot. Close to half of retail price. Is this American dollars? Half of the, you're paying 12 American dollars for board from 1 to 1.5 inch thick, 6 to 11 inches wide, 18 to 36 random widths and lengths walnut. About $6 a board foot. So like 8 Canadian dollars a board. Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's half here, but it's pretty okay. So that's a good price. It's not a, I don't think I'm buying a pallet. I don't think I'm buying $500 worth of walnut at $8 is pretty good. Now, $8 isn't all that. Like most of the walnut, again, that's my walnut rack. Ignore those. Those are shop stool. But this stuff down here is walnut that I paid $9.99 a board foot for that, and they're good boards. Like a couple of those are like 13-inch wide, 7 feet long bad boys. I mean, it was a few years ago. When would I have gotten those? Probably 2019, 2020. It was pre-pandemic, so it would have been 19. That I was paying $10.99. They were shorts. They were in the short on the shorts palette, but they are quality boards. You are boring. I'm unsubbing. Okie doke. Thanks for letting me know. Bit unhappy now. Expensive as it's gotten. Yeah, it's gotten certainly more expensive for people to be using walnut, and it's driven the price up for sure. I don't know. I don't know at what point I would stop paying for walnut because it is my favorite wood, but I don't want to pay $18 or something for board foot of walnut. Unless, I mean, if I'm making something on a commission and it's wrapped into the price, if they want walnut and they're going to pay for me to use walnut, absolutely. It's included in the price, right? But like for me, as personal wood, I don't think I can bring myself to pay that. Later, nerd. It's just a weird thing to say. I'm boring, you guys. That's what I'm gonna a walnut tree. Are you? How many years until I can add to your walnut pile? I'm gonna plant a walnut tree. 30? I would take it at 20. If you want to harvest it at 20, I'll. Agreed. The projects I make. Whoop, my 727 alarm. The projects I make out of walnut or stock I got a while ago at a more decent price. Yeah, like I said, that's the reason that my pile hasn't grown since it increased in price. And that's the reason that there's only like 70 board feet of walnut up there. Had a nice piece of walnut that I used on this Demon Bowl order. Yeah, you took it. Yeah, and I think they're giveaways too, aren't they? Aren't you doing that for nothing? You make bad decisions sometimes, Paul. You would not believe how much cherry I have. I would. I would absolutely. You don't seem like a liar. I would believe how much cherry you have. I have a lot of cherry too, actually. So that goes walnut, and then shop stool. Ignore that. Walnut. That's my cherry rack there, and then that's my cedar rack, and that pile of mess is just like random, like exotics and slab bits. Douglas fir up there, and then my sapele racks are pretty impressive. Those are my sapele racks. It's probably, I don't know, like 140 maybe board feet of sapele up there. No, I'm getting paid for them, but they're customer giveaways. Oh, okay, I suppose at least there's that. Dan Van, 35 years. 35 year walnut? I would take a 35-year walnut. Beautiful piece of walnut I've been turning into toothpicks. Yeah, do it. Just throw it on a burn pile. Just piss off the internet. That's what I should do. I should take one of those like 13-inch wide, like 7-foot long boards and just like make it into pen blanks. Build a shop stool for your birthday video. Ironically, get rid of it in your giveaway. Build a shop stool and then give it away. That would be funny. Sapele is hard to come by at a good price near me. That's why I have so much of it, is because I did find it at a good price, and I just bought when it was at a good price and a good quality, I would just buy like a couple sticks. And like every time I went in, I'd just be like, I'll take these two, and then I'll take these two, and then I'll take these two, and I just built it up that way. So I built it up at like sort of 20, 30 bucks per time that I went in. And eventually it turned into that. I think I was paying $7.99 Canadian per board foot for it. $6.99? Is it either $6 or $7.99? $7 or $8 a board foot. Found out the southern red cedar is actually a juniper. Yes, so western red is not a cedar either. Western red cedar is a cypress, I think. Nice. Yeah, I got, like I said, I've got about I don't know, maybe 130 board feet of Sapele up there. I mean, it's still like a grand worth of wood. But if you get it at 30, 40 bucks a time, that's what I should do to replenish the walnut, and then it won't hurt so bad. But it's like, when you try to buy one board and it's like 89 bucks or something to add to the rack, and you're like, actually, that's what I did. The last piece of walnut I bought, my parents got me a Windsor Plywood gift certificate for Christmas, I think. And it was $100. And I just went in and I bought one stick of walnut. And then I paid the extra like $8 or whatever. It's like my parents got me one stick of walnut for Christmas for $100. Like, these damn non-scientific names. I know, right? Why isn't it board meters? Because when people, it's a cubic meters is how a lot of the world measures wood. And I get it. But picture a cubic meter of wood. Like, that doesn't give you any sort of visual sense. Unless you live in that system, I guess. You could, but like one board of wood, was it like 0.04 cubic meters of wood? Or something? Like, it's hard to wrap your head around. At least board feet. It's 12 by 12 by 1. That's a board foot of wood. 12, 12, 1. 144 cubic inches. So, like, you can visualize that, right? If a board is 6 inches wide and it's 2 feet long, that's a board foot of wood. That's $9 or whatever the per board foot is. So you can process that. You go width by length. If you're buying 4/4 wood, you go width by length divided by 144. That's a correct cubic meter. I don't know why a cubic meter, like, how many pieces of wood are in a cubic meter? Like 80? I don't know. Like, a sequoia could produce a lot of cubic meters. Yes, an old sequoia would be a lot of cubic meters of wood. Peckerwood, see, you guys do cubic meters of wood down there, don't you? Like, what's like a normal 2x4 worth, like, in cubic meters? So in centimeters, that's like 25 mil by, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 300 mil, 25 by 300 mil by 8 feet long board of wood. Can you visualize like what percentage of a cubic meter that is in order for you to get a price? Like if they say it's X number of dollars per cubic meter, can you look at a board and say like, well, that's 0.03 of a cubic meter? Like, cause I don't know. I would never be able to do that. A cubic meter contains 1 cubic meter of wood. It's true. A cubic meter of wood is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter of wood. I don't know how many board feet of wood that is, though. Like a meter is like 4-ish feet by 4-ish feet by 4-ish feet. You're 423.7, approximately 423.78 board feet. 425 board feet in a cubic meter. Divide that by 144. Whatever. You want to buy wood by weight? You do it. You want to buy it by the cubic meter? Do it. You want to buy it by the tree? You can buy it by the log. Even the log, I think, would probably have some kind of cubic something. They wouldn't be like, these trees are $1,000 per log. Because the logs are different sizes, I don't know. Sorry for being boring, you guys. Oh, lost a sub. I've been losing a lot of subs, actually. At one point I was almost at 19,000 subscribers. Now I'm closer to 18,000 subscribers. That's not true. I don't think I ever got close to 19. Did I miss anything? Yes, we have talked a lot. Somebody decided to mention that I'm boring and they're unsubscribing. That was interesting. And then I ate some garbage pizza, and we've been talking about wood and making things. That's about it. The boring comment was hilarious. I mean, I just think it's funny that like it's just a mean thing to say, just for no reason, just to say a mean thing before you leave. Like, it's weird. I'm glad that I'm not that kind of person, Be good people. Be kind to each other. What did I say today in the video? Just be kind to each other. Present the best version of yourself to the world, and we'll make it a better place together, If that was the best version of that person, like, that's pretty shitty. B. Pinnell and I just left a comedy show. Were they funny? Dan's learning. Careful. You're not supposed to come here to learn. You can learn by accident, but don't come here on purpose to learn. Stupid rigid orbital sander keeps dying. Bad switch in it. Uh-oh. Gotta go get a festool. Right, Pinnell? Gotta get a festool. KB47. I don't know. Did you register the sander? Because you just get a new one. They'll fix it for nothing. It's a lifetime. Rigid's got the lifetime service arrangement, or whatever it's called, the LSA. People are super weird. You obviously didn't watch today's video, right? There was a new video today, Pinnell. thought it was a re-upload. I might as well have. Like I should have. No, because then YouTube would be like, that's repetitive content. Your channel's been terminated or whatever. You had it for a while now. Well, I guess maybe it's due. You're due for a new. You're due for a new duel. Miss Pat, Whitney Cummings, and Bert Kirshner. That sounds hilarious. I don't know any of those people, but was it funny? If it was funny, then go ahead. Even if it's not, have a night out. Who cares? Go do stuff. Get your face out of your phone. Don't want to spend Festool money on stuff. I don't blame you. Pinnell got his cheap. He says he got his cheap, but we all know Pinnell's got Pinnell dollars or something. Pinnell's got Yatoba flooring money. Drunks and sobers. That's us, I guess. I don't know. No bloopers. Did the whole thing in one take. Except, like, obviously the cut in parts from other videos, but yeah. You wouldn't know them. It's for the young crowd. Yeah, well, you enjoy your TikTok comedians or whatever. And your vertical videos and your bucket tomato soup. Pulled it apart, blew the dust out, and it works again. Yay! LJ Woodworks. How are you doing, my friend? You closed your eyes when you blew out the dust. No, then you don't know if you got it all. You got to keep your eyes open so that you know that you get it all. You can't tell unless you're watching. Got a used Festool sander a few years ago. It's fantastic, and I paid 40% new price. Came with a bunch of paper and buffers. Yeah. Oh, you didn't get the sustainer? Then what's the point? What's the point? If you don't get the really expensive plastic box, then do you even really own a Festool sander? I've not watched the 1 year video. Maybe after this stream. Is it worth it? Nah. I mean, not really. I'm just telling people to be nice. Just be nicer to each other, damn it. Saw a video today. That's a sentence. Guy telling people what they need to have a good shop. And he had nothing but Festool with the exception of the table saw. Saw stop, 5 horsepower cabinet saw. And he yep. These are what you need, everybody. This is full of Festool and saw stop. Pocket tomato soup. I don't think I said that. Got a drum sander yesterday. Hey! No longer hate sanding. Well, yeah, I mean, flat things, I guess. Eyes are like filters. They're for catching debris. Yeah, well, like I said, if you close your eyes when you're blowing the dust out of something, how do you know you got it all? You know what I mean? Like how do blind people know when they're done wiping? You know? Festools really feels like a cult. It kind of does. But I mean, I think there are cultish aspects of all of the tool brand, like fans of the tool. Like, feel like a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people who really like a brand of tools sort of in some ways get protective of, like, they get defensive of that brand of tools because they just don't want to be wrong. Said they needed to not pay attention to budget. Well, sure, that's nice to be able to say. Get what they want. The debt was worth it in the long run because of tool quality. I agree with the sentiment. I agree that generally speaking, you do get what you pay for, and it's better to have better tools. But to tell people that just don't worry about how much it costs, spend the money, I think feels like a little must be nice. You know, like that. Like, sure, that having better things makes making stuff better. But I would never tell somebody, like, go buy a really expensive saw because it's worth it. That's Festool owns SawStop. No. Festool's parent company owns SawStop. There's an umbrella that owns both of those. The same company that owns Festool owns SawStop. When it tastes like toilet paper again. That's how they know they're done, I guess. Yeah, okay. That's how you. So when you're blowing out your sander, the dust out of your sander, you just taste it once in a while, and then when you're not tasting sawdust anymore, you know that you're. The debt only works if the tools make you money. Again, that sentiment is, it's best if you're gonna go into debt for tools, you should. I don't. There's good debt and bad debt, and like sometimes you can go into debt that you are capable of paying off without the tool making you money because your enjoyment of your life has value as well, right? So if you want to put an expensive ass table saw on a credit card and then pay it off in increments so that you enjoy using a table saw more, you go ahead, do that. That's fine. The Shoops Woodshop. Hello. My take is that there are very few things in life worth getting in debt for. I don't agree. I think, again, going into debt, there's some things you can't get without going to debt. You can't buy a house without going into debt. I think it's worth it. You did say a few things, but again, if I don't have $5,000 to put down on a table saw, but that table saw is going to make using a table saw that much more joyful for me, I am willing to pay for joy. I am weird. I'm well behind. I'm gonna try to get caught up. Maybe not. Like 25, 30 grand in tools and guitars are paid for all of it. This shop has been paid for by this shop. But you make your own decisions on how you want to spend money. I'm one of those people that is unable to drop $100,000 on tools I need to work on wood. Sure, yeah. I'm not saying do it. Blind people know they're done. The technique of putting a mirror behind the toilet. They just, yeah, or they stick it, and if it sticks, yeah, okay. Dragon's Horde Crafts is done. He's like, I'm going to the shop. All right, later. Dogs really are the best. Hey! This is official finance. This is not official financial legal advice. Come here. It's sound financial advice. Definitely listen to that guy that Paul was watching today, who said, just spend all the money, go into debt, buy the best tools. That guy sounds like he sucks. How you doing? I'm okay, my friend. How are you doing? I'm keeping on, keeping on. One foot in front of the other. Make your way through the world. Considering the last car I bought cost more than the house I grew up in, and the house was of higher caliber than my car. Well, yeah. But what is the house you grew up in? What's the house you grew up in cost now? Because I bet it's not cheaper than your most recent car. I want to name Paul. Yeah. I'm trying to think of who. I might not know who it is. I left him what I thought of his idea on his stuff, and then went to my Festool free shop. Did he sign like at one point? Was he on like the practice roster for an NFL football team? We'll look through my history and see if I can find it. Paul, you have a saw stop, so technically, well, he's got the cheapest of them. To be fair, he's got the cheapest of them, and his shop is like 4.5 feet by 6 feet. So like, he's always within like a foot of touching the blade of his table saw. So I do not blame him. And he has built his shop, like me, he has built his shop up from sales from the shop. And he's always 1.5 feet away from touching that blade. So the anti-Festool cult is just as strong as the Festool cult. They meet at Paul's place on Tuesdays. And they can't fit in his shop. There are a lot of people who are anti-Festool. I don't think I'm anti any brand of tool. You spend as much money as you want on your tools. It's whatever. You live your life. You can drink your hot, thick tomato juice if you want. It's it's kind of accident prone. It's true. Like if anybody needs a saw stop, does saw stop make like an angle grinder, or what was the one that did the number on your thumb that time? Wasn't that a Dremel? He did brag that he had 2 Festool track saws because everybody needs a second one. Beaver truck. My next, yeah, Beaver. If you buy something from Beaver and it works for you, My Pinnell's got Beaver things. He bought a Beaver forklift or some shit. Fork. It wasn't a forklift. It was forks, I think. Didn't you, Pinnell? Didn't you buy a Beaver like forks for your tractor or some shit? I'm pro marketplace. I live in the DeWalt family of battery tools, not because I like DeWalt, but because that's the one that I started with, so it only makes sense. But I've got some Bosch stuff, I've got some Rigid stuff, I've got some Rikon stuff, I've got some King Industrial stuff, I've got a Laguna thing, I've got a Rock dust collector, got some Mastercraft. Somehow regretting my saw stop. What? Rail was hit with something. I have to bring it back. My old Craftsman that's 30 years. Sole owner, 3 horsepower. Hard to sell. So you regret the saw stop you got, but not when you get the saw stop that you've purchased. When you get the quality of saw stop that you've paid the money for, you might not regret it. I'm anti-broke ass tools. Anti-broke ass tools. Worked for Rockler for 3 years. The Festool people used to come in dressed in green, talk to other tools down. Well, of course they did. They're trying to sell the expensive ones. Need a saw stop angle grinder. Because we could all use saw stop everything's really. The Wen Dremel tool. It's a rotary thing. I'm not anti-Festool, but I think they're overrated and especially overpriced. I don't know if they are or not because I've never used one. And again, if it's going to make you money and be more pleasurable and whatever, I could justify it for sure. Absolutely, I could. Are you running on all 8 cylinders? I haven't been running on all 8 cylinders for many years, my friend. Get a V8 Clamato. Oh, God. If there's anything worse than tomato juice, it's Clamato juice. Beaver bucket forks. There you go. I told you. He got some guys. He got a Beaver forklift. I got to scroll here. Right. The stuff that does the thing when you need it done. If it's going to do the thing that you're asking it to do, and you paid an amount of money for it that made it worth it to have that, SawStop was working on a bandsaw at some point. I can't imagine how that would. I mean, it would just. You can't retract the blade on a bandsaw, so it would just have to be like an Uber brake. Because SawStop on a table saw, it stops it and pulls it into the table. You can't. There's nowhere you can't pull the blade of a bandsaw into the body of the thing. So. Team Neon Green. The Ryobis. Mikey B's Team Ryobi. Also space. Garage is jam-packed. Add swear words for my feeling about it. Well, weren't you supposed to be trying to get rid... Didn't we talk about your hoarding issues? Remember the skier machine thing? Remember? Festool chop saw is nice. Yeah, I've heard good things. 1500 is a bit much. If you do a lot of chop saw, if you're rocking and you need precision miters and you want to do them on a miter saw, Like, and you do them a lot, and you need them to be good for you to make money. I don't think 1,500 is too much for a chop saw. I don't even have a chop saw, so I clearly don't need an expensive ass precision chop saw. But DJ Better, I need encouragement for day one. You have it from me. The day one is the most important of the days, because then you can, if you win day one, you can have day two. You never get to day two unless you win day one. So you're not on a journey until you are on a journey. We're all on a journey, but you can't have a day two until you beat day one. It's like when we were playing Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers, level 1-1, where you jump and you're jumping along, and you're jumping on the turtles and the little mushroom guys and stuff. You can't get to 1-2, which is the underground one, with the secret box right at the beginning. Bing, 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 bing. And then you can't get to that level until you complete level 1-1. I don't know why that turned into a Mario Brothers, but you have all of my encouragement. What is going to make you able to put forth the best version of yourself into the world? If in order to put the best version of yourself into the world, it involves not consuming alcohol, do your best to not do that. If it involves waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's when you are your best version of yourself, you do that. If it involves drinking thick ass tomato juice with a spoon and calling it tomato soup, you can do that. If that's what you need to do to be the best version of yourself. If you want me to help encourage you, I have a series of videos where I talk about, completely honestly, how shitty it is to not be drinking. I'm not gonna blow smoke up anybody's ass and say that, oh yeah, just stop. Just like the idiot we were talking about with the, like, just buy all the tools. What's the matter with you? Like, no, it's not. On the video that I did today, about 1 year later, in the description there, I've got the list of all of my update videos, and you can watch, if you watch those one after another, I think you can watch things get better. I wonder, I should do that. I should go watch those back to back to back to back and see if there is like a palpable improvement that you can see, like a time lapse kind of thing. That would be interesting. I should do that. Okay, Team Riot, get through 1-1. You can't get to 1-2 unless once you get to 1-2 though, then you can like teleport places. Only recently found out you can jump into any wall in Super Mario if you aim correctly. Just jams you in. there's uh there are a couple of spots that I used to like into you move the screen over until you're like partially blocking a brick, and then you can jump up and get stuck in the brick and like jump your way up the. I remember that. That's one of the ways to get to like the secret like warp zone is you could like jam yourself into the bricks and like jump up the side of the screen. What if I want to offer the world just a barely acceptable version of myself? I mean, that's a decision. That absolutely is a decision. Well, I missed some things. The mountain is much more entrenched than you can imagine. A whole life in there. What mountain? What mountain? Makita 10 or 12-inch miter saw is $500, $600. Yeah, you spend however much you want on the quality of tool that you want. What's a good motor size for a 4-inch table sander? What the shit is a table sander? I don't know what a table sander is. You submit them to a doctoral student for use in their thesis. What? What, my random like diatribes? Yeah, they get a lot of that. See, this is for your doctoral thesis. Sobriety is a lot like Super Mario Brothers. I thought interest in video games when I found out there were cheat codes in Mario Brothers. I either want there to be only rules or total anarchy. There's cheat codes in Mario Brothers? I know there's like cheat zones that you can only get to by like super secret things. I didn't know there were cheat codes. Drum sander? Oh, drum sander maybe? Are you talking about I don't know what a table sander is, but if you're talking about a drum sander, I want to be Christian Bexford. Dude's like 80. Maine looks pretty. You're right. Maine looks pretty. Your update video. Oh, I should submit. Somebody should use those. There's not a lot of science involved there. It's all opinion, and it's that I'd make no bones about it. What those are just my own personal trip around the sun. Paul is leaving. Gonna go wash the bull dust out of my hair. All right, later, man. Get them Mexican Coca-Colas packed up, and I want to try the hot chip challenge or whatever. What is it called? Four-inch belt sand. Oh, like my my oscillating rigid thing. I don't have a handheld belt sander. I've got an oscillating belt / drum sander, and I think the rigid one of those that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago on an episode, I think is probably the standard. There are other companies that make similar ones. I think the general consensus is that the rigid is probably the standard. Almost got the Wedge Pro set up. The wedgie sleddy. I got one of those. I miss my long beard. All you got to do is stop cutting it, and it'll come back. It's the only reason I have a beard is because I got pissed. I was like, I don't want to shave anymore. Shaving is stupid. So I stopped. Rigid or Harbor Freight Bauer. If you want tools made by a skate company, it's funny. Shut up. Best unboxing ever. No, the best unboxing ever. It was pretty good. Yeah, no, it was pretty good. Oscillating belt and spindle sander. The Harbor Freight Bauer. Sure, it probably is fine. Benchtop vertical 4-inch belt sander. I guess I'm lost on the correct name. This thing down here. This guy. That's the rigid. It's great. I don't know if your question was like, what's the horsepower or something like that? I don't know. It's good. And like I said, there are other companies that make them. I think rigid kind of is the standard, and it's not, I don't think it's that much more expensive than the ones that maybe you wouldn't want to buy. I don't know. The rigid LSA is great. The lifetime service agreement on rigid things is great. I think I would spend the money on that one because it's like what, 250 bucks or something for that guy, and like the cheaper ones are probably like 50 bucks cheaper than it. I don't know. I haven't shopped for one for a while. But throws marking knives into fingers as well. Yeah, don't hold really sharp things in your fingers while you're sanding them, because there is friction happening, and if it takes it out of your hand and then there's sharp, like it'll get you. I have seen a corgi dog do unboxing. Even that corgi dog is probably better at opening boxes than I am. The Bauer is $169 this month. And then what's the rigid cost right now in American dollar dues? And how much are you going to use it? Like if you're going to use the thing for 9 minutes a month, or is every project you do from now for the rest of your life gonna go through this tool at some point? Or is this a twice a year for 10 minutes of runtime type purchase? $299 versus $169. Really? It's 300 American dollars now for the rigid? It's unfortunate. $299. Okay. I think it's a use case. Like, do you expect the majority of your projects to get touched by this thing at some point in the process? Because then maybe it's worth the extra money. But if it's an occasional thing, if you think you can get to $170 worth of value out of it before it potentially breaks down, sure. Like I buy a $50 sander that is going to get $50 worth of use before I need to replace it. Or you listen to Paul's friend and just buy the Festool. Or I think it's just an individual decision. Like I miss Sears, middle grade quality with unbelievably unbeatable warranty. See, that's where I kind of find Rigid to live, is like pretty good quality, really good warranties. It's middle of the pack in terms, it's like lower middle class of tool, but they stand by it. They'll replace it and fix it and whatever. If you register it, which I unfortunately tend to forget to do. I don't think any of. I got the Rigid table saw and the sander, and I guess that's it. Nope, the router. They're all fine, but I don't think I actually registered any of them with the LSA. Rigid is TTI, right? I don't know. Doesn't TTI own a whole lot of them? I just realized he blew me off with about that guy's name with his washing his hair excuse. Yeah, he did. He did. The open pipe design was 6 amp, but no LSA due it to being a collaboration with Delta. Rigid doesn't even make their power tools. Do any companies really make their own power tools? They buy them from a factory. They get a factory. I mean, they might own. I mean, yeah, okay. I guess if they own the factory, they're making their own tools. But I think a lot of them are not doing that. Always register. Well, that's easier said than done. Sometimes you get home and you start using it and then you forget. What's the best tasting wood chip? The best tasking? I'm guessing you mean tasting. The best tasting wood chip, Dartmouthian Council? Dartmouthian Council. I'm gonna guess that you're asking for tasty. Walnut. I like walnut. It's pretty good, but I'm biased because it's also my favorite wood to work with. Western red cedar is pretty tasty, but it's mainly the smell that's doing it. Alaskan yellow cedar. The smell of it and the taste of it and the consistency of it is pretty tasty. It'd be, yeah. We'll vote for Paducah. TTI is Milwaukee, Ryobi, and Rigid. I don't know. They all have parent companies that own a bunch of them. Like Black and Decker is like the low end brand of the same company that owns DeWalt. I don't know. Maple, yeah, well, maple's a little bland. It doesn't really taste like much. eating oak. Why are you eating wood? Use it to make things. Walnut's my favorite too, but because of the flavor, I don't really work with it much. Well, yeah, I think it tastes fine. Also, I try not to eat it. You get a good enough wood chip, you can suck on the thing all day and get flavors. I mean, I guess. I think I'd rather use food for that, though. It's just personal. You want to eat wood chips, you go ahead, I guess. Bosch and Makita are the only standalones these days? Maybe. Like apricot. I don't think I've ever tried apricot, but maple is bland because people sucked the yummy sap out of it. Maybe. I don't think those are the same trees. I don't think the trees that they're getting the syrup out of are the same ones that we're making furniture out of. Where I am, we use that over gum, more flavor, longer. I mean, I'm not a big gum guy either, though. Like to chew on birch bark. I mean, what? You guys, okay. This talk is being taken over by malnourished individuals. Yeah, right? I'm like, you guys, like, I don't know, it's Douglas fir. We'll just. It's like, why? I got pizza. Damn, bro, we kind of look the same. I don't know. I don't have any fancy pink sunglasses. But you must be a very attractive individual. Spruce tips and birch bark could be a dinner for me. Oh, okay. Spruce tips, I know that there's a local brewery here that makes a. Yeah, well, I don't drink anymore, but when I did, they made a pretty good beer out of spruce tips. It was a little, yeah, it was a little bitter, but it was pretty good. Best Marvel movie? Impossible. Impossible question. Depends what I'm in the mood for. One of the best Marvel movies. If I want to laugh, Thor Ragnarok was fantastic. As a comedy. Thunderbolts was way better than I expected it to be. And I would put it up in the top tier of Marvel movies. I mean, Endgame was something else. Endgame for like emotional impact. Like, but the first Iron Man is like, there could be arguments made for a lot of them. Put sunglasses on. I have to go out to the truck and get my sunglasses. I don't want to. Like Hulk with Edward Norton. I don't even remember if I liked that at all. That's a long time ago. Deadpool was good. Deadpool was absolutely a good movie. Like, it was funny. But Thor Ragnarok was funny. And it like, yeah, I think Thor Ragnarok is the best of the Marvel films that was just a puffy comedy type thing. Thunderbolts was great. If you guys have not seen Thunderbolts, like, I also actually I have a little bit of a soft spot for Age of Ultron, Captain America Age of Ultron. I think that's probably the one that I have seen the most times. That's the one that I have rewatched the most. The only part that I don't like about Age of Ultron is that it's clearly an Avengers movie. Like, I don't really know why it was a Captain America movie when it was. Am I talking about the right one? Captain America, right? We're at 2.5 hours suddenly. I'm going to have myself another cigarette again, I think. And then maybe we'll get close to wrapping this up. I'm going to start my vacation. Oh, wait. Did we establish? Does your vacation start at the beginning of your normal days off? Or does your vacation start at the beginning of when you would be going back to work otherwise? Are you on vacation? Because I kind of see that as like my normal days off are like you haven't started your vacation until you would normally be at work, right? Yeah, sun's down behind the house now. Like the movie with the tree guy. Groot? Which one? He's been in, I don't know, 4 or 5? Vacation as soon as you stop. I mean, does it though? Because like, if you work, it's like, if you work Monday to Friday job, at the end of the day on Friday, if you have the next week off, at the end of the day of Friday, you're actually just starting your regular days off before your vacation starts on Monday, right? Maybe. It doesn't matter. I'm off work for a week, which is cool. But I am gonna do some work. I gotta put some stuff together. I got a stupid arts fest that I gotta organize by the end of the month. So gonna do some work on that on a volunteer basis this week. And I gotta do some work in the shop. I got 2 more drawers to build on that cabinet. I got 2 guitars I gotta get back into. You know? You're not taking a vacation from the weekend. It's a vacation from work. I know, right? So, like, my vacation starts on Thursday next week. And I'm only taking 3 days of vacation. But I'm not working for like 11 days in a row. Remember that guy that like just piped up to say that I'm boring and that he was unsubscribing? That was So, all right, Eric's gone. Later, man. It's all about perspective. Every moment is the same minute, is the same time as the same always. That's all just lies. That's just nonsense. Is what that is. So tired on Saturdays, I get little done. I need to be lazier at work. Everybody, I think, should be a little bit lazier at work. Natty is not here, is she? Gretchen's leaving too? Wait. Oh, yeah, bye, Gretchen. See you next week. Someone bum me a smoke. You could have one of mine if you were around, but starts the last day you work, in my opinion. I mean, it feels like it should, right? But I mean, technically, that's the start of your days off. It's not the start of your vacation. When describing the amount of time off you have, would you say to someone, I have the weekend off and then my vacation starts? Or would you say I'm off for 11 days? I mean, I would say I'm on vacation next week. Like, as of right now, I would say, if somebody said, when's your next vacation? I would say next week, not right now. I think. I don't know. Yeah, I think I would, but I'm in a different situation too, right? Like, I have a lot of jobs. So I'm only on vacation from one of my jobs. And that's only 3 days off. So really, like, I don't know if are you really on vacation if you're only off one of your multiple jobs? Are you really on vacation? I work 5 on, 5 off. That's good. That's a pretty good schedule. I like that. I work 3 on, 4 off. But I have multiple jobs that I do on those other days. My vacation starts on the afternoon on the last scheduled work day. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, this is just a nonsense question. How deep is the hole? Like, how deep is a hole? How long is a piece of string? Who is winning? Who is winning top fans? Mikey B with 225 points, tied with Gretchen, followed by Marv in third place, who has not been here for like over an hour. That's Marv put in good work early on in the show. If he's still in third place. All right, let's get it wrapped up. 2 hours and 44 minutes. No Sunday show this week. Yeah, the next few days, finish that cabinet up. Then I'm going to get back on the guitars in preparation for Sean's bass build. Yeah. Which is actually a cello build, kind of. I'm actually thinking about titling that video like making my first cello, because I'm going to be making a bass guitar that I'm going to trade someone for a cello. So it might be funny. People might yell at me for lying. I don't know. I might rightfully get claimed clickbait for that. Especially if the thumbnail is like me with my cello, and then I make a bass guitar and trade it for a cello. Like that's just pretty much lying. All right. Let's go. 2 hours and 46 minutes. We'll call it for tonight. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. Be kind to each other. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Put forth the best version of yourself that you can at any given time. Be kind to each other. And I will see you the next time I see you. Bye, everybody.